Welcome to the Whiskey Vault. I'm Rex. He's Daniel. Just got some whiskeys. If it's not your month, you don't need to be here. That's the point.
What? Why did I do all this research then?
Like yesterday, there was a moment where you left, and it felt like a weight had been lifted off my shoulders. I could breathe more easily. I had a sense of focus and purpose.
I think that's just because the top button in your jeans popped off. This is a gift from Daniel Thomas's.
Both?
Both.
Daniel Thomas is you magnificent bastard!
Now he wrote this note. He said, "Congrats on 100,000 subscribers." This was
Wow.
a while ago. And
Thank
opening
you.
the distillery. Started following you guys at 13,000. Hell of a ride.
Yeah.
This is a compass box that is easy to find in a decent liquor store, but incredibly rare, ironically. So easy to find for him, but a rare whiskey, there's only 260.
Oh, wow.
But we're going to compare it to the one that's actually much easier to get.
Is that like a really full barrel or two kind of half full barrels?
What do they mean by Oak Cross?
Yes.
Okay. Oak Cross is one of their other whiskeys.
Oh, okay.
We have Oak Cross.
Yes.
So they had a French oak barrel that used to hold Oak Cross.
Okay.
They used that to marry this blend together.
Oh, okay.
But
So
it comes-
Oak Cross was already a blended whiskey.
Yes.
So they're using a barrel that was in a blended whiskey. Man, there's just all types of incest going on.
Yes. It's cool. He said, and actually I'm going to read his tasting notes after we try it because I'm interested to see how much his preferences and palate align with ours. And then he also said, I got you a bottle of the original King Street Artist Blend so that you could compare the two.
Oh, nice.
One that's how they normally do it, and one, look at this color difference even.
Damn, dude.
One that they let marry together in a cask for a year.
Yeah, this one
Right?
is a lot lighter. The larger bottle is much more gold and orange.
Yeah. Now, this, he said he thinks it's one of the best whiskeys he said, it's the tastiest thing I've ever put in my mouth. Insert innuendo. Man, the nose is magnificent on this.
Yeah, it is.
Now, the Artist Blend, by the way, wow, okay, is 46% Cameron Bridge grain, 29% Kleinlich,
Yeah.
which we both like, 17% Highland malt that they don't name, and 8% Linkwood sherry cask. So there's one sherry cask in this, 2 bourbon casks, and French oak. I don't know about that number, but that's the ingredients that are in it.
So on the nose, this doesn't have a single flavor and note that just jumps out and is dominant. This is very cohesive. This is many things married together, and they're complementing each other well on the nose.
I am getting a little bit of a dusty jam kind of note on the nose.
What kind of jam?
I think it's like a preserve instead of a jam, where there's still bits of the berry in it, and it's going to be one of the darker berries, not
Boysenberry?
It's been a long time since I had boysenberry.
I don't know what boysenberry tastes like.
I'm almost thinking plum, but that's too dark.
No, I could go for a plum there.
Oh, the taste is magnificent.
I'm getting a really dense red grape on the smoke.
There is some real spicy, metallic kind of phenol notes on the taste. The nose smells like this is just going to be a beautifully sweet whiskey, and the palate is this spicy, peppery journey.
Still sweet, but not candied.
Right.
This has many layers to the sweet elements that are all playing really nicely with each other.
It's sort of toast, like buttered toast.
So the obligatory, there's a lot of honey for me.
Yeah.
Getting a lot of honey.
But I do get a little bit of that buttered toast kind of note. That's really interesting. All right, let's see the difference. So he said, here, read what he said. It starts with, for
I'm
me,
getting
on the
a
nose.
really red grape, like a dense red grape on the nose. I'm getting almost more of a green grape on the taste. For me on the nose, it's like walking into a French cafe. I get honey, yeah, fresh pastries, cool, walnuts, and a hint of apple butter. Oh, apple butter. And cream. The palate is similar, like croissants to baklava, without being too sweet. With a honeyed walnut apple finish, I hope you guys enjoy. Interesting.
That Oak Cross barrel had a pretty significant effect.
Yeah? Is this the Oak Cross?
No, this is the King Street without that process.
Oh, wow.
This is way more pepper. Way more spice.
And it added layers. Mm-hmm. Layers of complexity and sweetness.
Yeah, this is an easy 30 to 40% jump up in complexity and drama from the original King Street.
So honey, fresh pastries, and walnuts, and a hint of apple butter and cream is what he gets. Those are good notes.
Yeah.
I don't think any one of those are wildly off base.
No, that's a well done.
On the nose, the palate is like croissants and baklava. It's been forever since I had baklava, and I was gonna push back because, like, dude, that's just so sugary sweet. But he says baklava without being too sweet.
Ah,
Damn, dude. Yeah.
so this is the Oak Cross. Ah, there's a little more pepper.
Man, that barrel impact from the Oak Cross is huge.
Okay, so
It's almost more similar to the Oak Cross than it is to the original.
let's do an Oak Cross glass rinse, pouring the artist into it,
The influence of the Oak Cross barrel.
and see if we can find that.
I'm
Balance.
finding more of the influence from the Oak Cross barrel than I am from the original small bottle.
I agree.
Yeah.
Oh, that worked on the nose. Here, keep them separate. Keep this in your right hand and that in your left hand.
I'm gonna keep them separate.
No. Switch them because you're going to need to compare
I'm
side by
trying to
side.
keep them separate.
Okay. Just smell first.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, without giving them time to really sit together, it sort of washed it out a little bit. Yeah, that's funny.
Closer on the nose, but
It's closer on the nose. It's not as close on the taste. It's a good 20-30% difference on the taste. But I bet if you want to try to recreate this, then get Oak Cross and the Artist blend
Yeah.
and start and mix about a 1 to 10 ratio
Yeah.
of Oak Cross Great Artist and see what happens.
he said apple butter. I'm gonna look for apple butter real quick. More apple than the butter, but I can see where you're going with that.
Yeah.
On the whole, those are some amazing notes, Daniel.
Those are
Thomas.
great tasting notes.
Great notes. All right, we got the comments here. We got VT Ardbeg. Whiskey barrel sized regulation through TTB.
Oh yes, so go to Whiskey Wash and search up the article titled "Are Small Barrels Bad for Whiskey?" Because there's a regulation that is being proposed for TTB.
Right.
They said. So what happens is every time they're doing this, the government says, "Here's all these things we propose that we think would help things be
Right.
better."
Right.
And what do you think? And then there's a time where everyone gets to go, "Yeah," or "No, that's insane," right? And then they decide.
Well,
Now,
just a quick moment. I am annoyed that they suggest stupid things. I am really appreciative of the fact that they are soliciting feedback at all.
no,
Because
I want to give them full credit on this because I think it's cool that a government agency, one, says, here's our thoughts.
Yes.
What do you think?
Yeah.
And that they're trying, if you read all the regulations, they are mostly trying to make it better.
yeah.
Now, this one, I think, is a correction no one was looking for.
Because small barrels, there's a legitimate place.
Well, we got
for
to
it.
tell them what it is.
Okay.
So what it is that they are saying that they're about to limit aging in oak barrels to barrels the size of 50 gallons or more.
Yeah.
Which would immediately wipe out a huge chunk of the craft industry in America
Which is-
who's using smaller barrels.
Is this 53?
Yeah. That or basically that.
Okay.
So I don't know where it came from. Who
It's-
knows where it came from?
I don't know, somebody's nephew is a 50-gallon barrel salesman.
Yeah. Who knows where it came from, but there's a general outcry in the whole industry saying, no, that's insane.
Right.
Do not do that. Now, I have 2 points on
I
small
mean, there's
barrels.
award-winning distilleries that started out with small barrels
Yeah.
that were just cleaning up, making amazing
or
whiskeys.
are still doing it.
Yes, still
Right?
doing it. And then sometimes you want to do components where you have a portion of it blended in small barrels, a portion of
Yes.
it aged in small barrels, a portion of it aged in larger barrels, and you bring those together, and we don't need that.
Now, here's what I will say about small barrels.
Right.
There was this, and if you read the article, you'll see there was a study done by Buffalo Trace, and
Right.
they put the whiskey into all these different sized barrels, and they
Yeah.
concluded at the end of a huge chunk of time,
Sure.
small barrels don't work. Well, it's like, well, they don't work for one, how long you put it in there. Two, your proof entry. Three, maybe the mash bill you put it in there.
Right.
Four, there's so many other ingredients than saying our whiskey didn't work for a long period of time. Basically here it is. Basically what Buffalo Trace was saying is you can't use small barrels the same way you use big barrels.
Well, no shit.
But no, yeah, exactly. No shit. That's not proof small barrels don't work, right?
Honestly, any studies that come from a single entity with a vested interest in the industry, it's like, even when it comes to reviewers, bloggers, podcasts that come out with their, supposed authoritative list of the best things in any industry, it's like, that's kind of your personal experience and subjective opinion until you get feedback and information from a large sample size.
Yeah.
Then you're not really going to get that much useful or accurate information.
Right. So here's what I'm going to say about small barrels, and this is important, I feel. Take note.
Are we taking a stand?
We're taking a stand. I always hear this sentence from tour guides and random people who haven't really researched it or whatever. And what they say is, small barrels give you older whiskey faster.
No.
No, they don't. They increase certain aspects of aging. That's it, right? So they turn up the speed on barrel contact.
Yep.
But that's not all that's happening with aging whiskey. There are other things that are happening. And so if you take the same whiskey and put it in a 53 gallon versus a 5, you can't be like, oh, after a year, this 5 gallon is like the same as the 6 years in a big barrel. That's not true. It's replicating about 50% of what's happening a little bit faster, the interaction with the wood. But there's this other half that just takes time, and you can't fake that. And my analogy is, it's the difference between wearing a pair of jeans so long that holes start to appear.
I should have worn my holy jeans.
Yeah, and they start to wear in different locations around your phone, around your keys, and then they get a hole in the knee or the crotch.
You watch my lens.
No, I always get the same thing. I always get a hole right in them. As a matter of fact, I have a pair of jeans that I didn't realize until I was at a meeting.
Right.
I sat down and was like, oh.
Do you man spread? You man spread.
So anyway, so that's real aging of jeans, right? You can go to a store and buy jeans that are pre-aged.
Right.
Which means they took a machine and rubbed them down so they're frayed, and they split holes in them and frayed the holes.
It's a belt sander.
Yeah. And what that means is, yes, you faked a certain aspect of aged jeans, but when you put those on, they feel like new jeans.
Right.
They fit like new jeans. Right. I think the same thing is true of small barrels. I think you increase certain aspects, but there are certain things you can't fake.
So, and the point is, there is a place for small barrels to be used in a distiller's toolbox.
Yes.
They want to have some stuff that's small barrels, some stuff that's larger, and then they have options. Why take away options?
Yes, absolutely.
Because the market will decide whether or not it's a good whiskey.
So
whether or not it should be given in exchange for money.
I'm pretty confident that part is going to go away.
Right.
Just because every single person I've talked to in the whole industry thinks that's a bad idea. And they're all writing the lawmakers and the TTB. Right? So I'm not that worried about it yet until it happens.
Fair enough. We just took a short video and turned it into a long
We really did.
video.
Totally worth it.
Here's to fighting, stealing, and drinking.
If you fight me, I fight for a friend.
If you steal, may you steal a liver's heart.
And if you drink,
may you drink with us.
Hey, thanks for hanging out with us in the Whiskey Vault. Don't forget to throw in a like, hit that subscribe button on the bottom right, and drop a question or comment down below.